Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the Atmos character of our world around us, and today we will consider one situation that can happen, not necessarily will happen, but when something happened once, one needs to be aware that it can happen another time in the same version or in a little bit altered version. So it can happen again, always with some modifications. I'm referring to last madhouse with small Chinese friend, small Chinese microbe, and actually 1.5 year of the last of, I would say, incredible madness. It cannot be called different way because behavior of governments, corporations, and many people was nothing more than a great manifestation of incredible level of madness, loss of logic, loss of common sense, and loss of even survival instinct. We know that many people, it was always like this, but especially now, in such period of time, are driven by as simple emotions, as simple as they can be. So one of the simplest human emotions is fear. Fear, being also among them, is really the simplest emotion one can manifest, because nothing, almost nothing, is needed to induce it, even even a fiction or imagination. And this happened with small Chinese friend, which we even don't know what it was, if it really existed, was it really something from the lab, uh, how much uh, was this thing manipulated, or maybe if it existed at all, or if it existed in what form. But if we assume that it existed in some form, it was nothing else than ordinary, maybe a little bit stronger flu. But okay, we see that power of media is very, I would say, incredible, huge, and they can make a very, for a moment of course, from a very non-important issue, they can make a key issue for some time by blowing hot air and spreading information that it's not true. So, what to do if something like this happens again? It doesn't have to be microbe related story. It can be, of course, UFO story, like attack of aliens, and we will be again asked to be closed at homes, or maybe change our place, move to some other places, or stay in one place as long as someone asks you to stay. Someone means government collaborating with managers of big corporations, because everything is about money, of course. And we see that now, when the source of money, which was small Chinese friend, for some time the only disease in the world in the media, we see that now, when it's no longer profitable, no one talks about it. It's completely forgotten. I don't think that we will have microbe related circus very quickly again, because human memory is short, but it's not so short. But there are other possibilities by which the brains of majority of population, which acts and thinks by emotions, can be washed. So we see that now, that in recent weeks we have some here and there media reports about UFOs, so we see potential candidate for another madhouse, when another economic crisis will have to be covered from the general public. So what to do? This is quite simple. If you can, just, I know it's not easy, but if you can, move to the suburbs of the city, the extreme suburbs, like the border areas of the city and live as close as possible with nature, and have some food and water stored just in case when the madhouse starts. When when one can, please move to the village and start living there. I know it requires many sacrifices, also in terms of professional life, but also in terms of private life. But we experience already madhouse, and I'm not so sure that we want to experience it again. So sometimes big sacrifices are worth doing. If one cannot move to these locations, so the far suburbs and the village side, which I mentioned before, one should do what I'm always talking about in my videos. Organize people, make people aware, try to organize manifestations, try to press politicians, local representatives of corporations, try to show them our force, try to show them that we are organized and we are aware of our situation, we are aware of our rights, and we are aware of this, what they want to do to us. That's why it won't be for them so easy to perform another action like this. So social awareness, social organization, and just in case when it's not possible to prevent such things from happening, the ones who can, they should move to more isolated areas to survive such year or two, or maximum 3, because it cannot last longer, year or 2 or 3 of madhouse in relative peace and with preserved personal freedom, which is the most important thing we have in life. And the majority that cannot move from the cities, that are actually nothing else but cages like animals in the extensive farms, because in the cities we live like animals in extensive farms in cages. So cities are only big prisons, big concentration camps in which we are wasting our lives. If one cannot escape from these concentration camps, in which by the majority of history the number of deaths was always higher than number of births, with some exception of the second quarter, with some exception of the period of time from the second quarter of 19th century till the 1970s, so 70s of 20th century, in all the cities, and now it came back since 1970s, it's again in actually all of the cities, number of deaths in the developed world again exceeds number of births, no matter what happens. And always cities were growing thanks to immigration from the countryside. And now it's not enough people in the countryside, people escape from the countryside, so the population of big cities are slowly in decline. So we see that cities came back to their role, what they always were, actually nothing changed. The place where you work are exploited and die. That's why when you can leave them, please do so. When you cannot, fight for your rights, as I'm always advising you, and always show that you are there, that you are numerous group of people and organized. All the best, have a nice day.